by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley. With convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut, visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
It's Tuesday morning from 6 till 8. Wow, it's Tuesday with Bob Plass.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
.12 on the nose here on this 21st day of August in the year 2018. Anno Domini, this is the Den Ken's Den.
The views expressed by the host during his monologue are those solely of his own, not those of Westfield State University, the student-run radio club, our underwriters, or the sane people in the room. And now...
You know what, Pete?
What's going on, Ken?
First, welcome back.
Thank you, Ken.
Even though I was more than capable of sitting on that side of the board,
yes,
I'm glad to be sitting at my usual perch, or in this case, standing.
Gotcha.
When did places you go shopping at stop teaching manners or tact. This past Saturday, at 3 out of the 4 places I frequented, I was given a "there you go" instead of a "thank you." I don't know if it's the younger generation that was never taught manners at home or the businesses employing them. I know you go through an orientation period and a training period when you go to work at places where you interact with the public. I highly doubt these companies are training you not to say thank you.
Right.
So, are the individual locations just lax in their basic customer service practices when it comes to training and policing their employees? Or are these younger employees opting to not follow company rules and guidelines because, after all, they were all taught that they were very unique snowflakes, were told that they could do anything they wanted, and were rewarded for just showing up?
Oops.
Oh, Ken.
There you go is not an acceptable alternative to thank you. There you go is something you say when teaching a child to ride a bicycle when they're operating said bicycle under their own power.
Good point.
Thank you is something you say to me after I spend my money at your business.
Right.
Perhaps it's just a Northeast thing. When I am out on the West Coast or down South, everybody says thank you. Pete, when you were just down in Florida and you went into a convenience store or something else, you were thanked as you were tendered your change.
Yep.
See, I didn't even need to wait for your confirmation. I knew you were thanked.
Somebody even added for your business.
Even at the airports in the South or West Coast, you'll find some politeness. In Palm Beach, the TSA agent that verified your ID and boarding pass thanked you when they handed it back, didn't they?
Yeah.
I was guessing, but I know that they do it at Hartsfield, Dallas Love Field, Orlando, Nashville, McCarran, Denver, Indianapolis, and San Diego.
Or if they don't say thank you, they say have a good day, which is equivalent for me.
Why is it that we are a bunch of rude, inconsiderate, selfish bastards here in the Northeast?
Oops.
Is it because we deal with icy roads for months at a time, which are just around the corner?
Oh.
Shh. Don't say that.
Is it because our booze and tobacco cost 5 times more than the rest of the country? Is it because of the liberal stronghold that regulates and taxes us to death up here?
Oops.
Oh, God.
It's not good.
Is it because we measure distance in time instead of miles?
That's true.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what it is, but it is a wicked pissa constantly dealing with attitude here in the Northeast. Next week, I will get into how you should wave to me as a sign of thanks if I let you into the traffic at the top of Clay Hill after you get your dunks at the gas station, because I know whenever I do that, you will get through the light at the Pike, and I will be left behind, stewing and giving you the Boston salute.
Oops.
Let's pay our bills. We'll be back right after this.
I found a picture of you. Oh, circumstance beyond our control. On TV and the news of the world. Got in the house like a pigeon from hell. From sending our eyes and descended like flies. Put us back on the train. Back on the train gang. Powers that be, they force us to live like we do. Bring me to my knees when I see what they've done to you. But I'll die as I stand here today, knowing that deep in my heart they'll fall to ruin one day for making us part. I found a picture of you. Those were the happiest days of my life. Like a break in the battle was your part. In the wretched life of a lonely heart. Now we're back on the train. Back on the chain gang.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Comcast and Xfinity.com. Offering Xfinity TV, Internet, home phone, and home security services. Information on all that Xfinity has to offer in the Westfield area is available online at Xfinity.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Discussions of local politics, events, happenings, and miscellany potpourri. Ken's Den, Tuesday, 8 to 10.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
We all know what that music means by now.
We did.
I thought the season would be over by the time I came back.
Wishful thinking.
We're only two-thirds through.
Oh, is that only two-thirds?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Even I are beginning to question stuff. But here's a...
We haven't even had a double eviction yet.
Yeah, no. But wait a minute. I got a scoop for
Can they all be
everyone.
doubles from here on out?
Everybody's going to be talking about this, and this is going to be something else. When Stormy Daniels was on television in England just this weekend, okay, she was interviewed, and she was saying that she is trying to work out stuff so that she can appear on Celebrity Big Brother. Stormy Daniels is going to be on Celebrity Big Brother.
Well, she saw
in the
Omarosa
winter.
successfully sell her book on the Celebrity
Yes.
Bruin, so why not?
So we're going to have
She's played,
Stormy
honest
Daniels
to God,
on
she's
Celebrity Big
out of,
Brother.
Out of a false allegation, she's made more money than anybody I know, so she's pretty smart.
Oh my God! Yes,
She's played it for every damn cent it's worth. Did you see her when she was in Springfield?
No, I
She was
didn't
like
go
a-
to the Mardi Gras. You went
She
to the
was-
Mardi Gras
no,
to see her?
They covered it on the.
You might
listen to this.
get shot if you go over
They
there.
covered it on the news,
All right,
and she's
I
like
know.
she's like a drug suspect. She's got the hoodie on, and they're bringing her with the cops. It's like,
Well, she's very famous right now, and she's capitalizing on her fame.
it shows you how far our country has actually sunk.
You know, now that I got Bob next to me, I need my monitor knocked down like one notch.
Oh, okay.
You are loud in
Am
the
I
morning.
loud now? Am I loud?
Now and then.
Now and then.
You started talking about Stormy, and you got excited, and your
I beg your
voice
pardon?
went up.
Oh,
All right, move along.
Yes.
yeah.
Very
Well,
nice.
that's about the only thing that's gone up, to tell you the truth.
Oh, you know what? I gotta pee. I don't need you. I can do it.
yeah. There we are.
There we
go. Hey, so at any rate, getting
What a week on Big Brother.
what a week is
What
right.
a week.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Kathy, you should have seen it this
Oh,
week.
I know. I'm so sorry. I missed
Oh
it.
my God.
You know,
I think I was filing my nails.
Kathy, last week I said this, that there are people that are left on Big Brother that have no personality,
Yes, you
and,
do.
and it's sort of it's bothering me because I thought I have to listen to the rest, or I have to be with them in that house 3 times a week for the next 6 or 7 weeks or so. Right? Is that how long more? Is it
6, I think.
6 weeks, okay. So I got 6 more weeks of this with people that I could care less about. And then all of a sudden, I begin to really appreciate the Beach Boy. His name is Tyler. And I also appreciate Mini-Me, JC, okay? And I begin to hate the nerd bodybuilder. What's his nickname? Brett is what's
Brett? Nerd Stud.
Nerd Stud. And forget the fact of these ciphers. There are some real ciphers. Zero people who have nothing going for them, that girl Angela, who's nothing, and suddenly Haley sort of begins to really begins to sort of Farm Girl begins to grow on me a bit, but more to the point, Ken. It has reached a point where suddenly there are new storylines appearing, and the writers are really working. And I've fallen in love, and I think she's got a real career. The hillbilly girl, Sam, she's so country, and she's so sweet, and she smokes cigarettes, and she is loved by everyone, and she's cleaning the house, and she's cooking for everyone. And then we have the Mini-Me is little. I'm not supposed to say little in terms of the shorter
You're
man.
69 years old. You can flip every now and then.
I'm 73, but I
was being kind.
But the shorter person on the show, okay, has suddenly began to wheel and deal, and he is so adorable. I mean, like, he is so adorable, and I don't want to be that a pejorative. How can you if you put, oh, you're so short and you're so adorable, that would be. That's sort of like sexist, and there's something about it. But what's happening with me is I'm falling in love with the shenanigans of JC, and I'm looking forward to Sam and JC.
He must be picking
and
up on
Tyler.
He must be picking up on his gaydar then.
Well, he's also a gay man on top of everything
Yes,
else.
I can see how that would happen.
He's a Latino, and he's a gay man, and and he's a man who's shorter than the average bear. And yeah. But so
Yeah, short. Well, he said shorter than the average bear, and then I added on the boo.
Oh, I like that. So, so what do you think is going to happen here? Well, we've got 2. So explain, folks, to where it is, so Kathy can.
We need to talk about what happened last week, which was awesome.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Somebody went walking out the door.
Oh, thank God. They got rid of Rockstar. The purple
Freaky Friday.
Oh, Freaky Friday finally walked the door.
And they
walked the
backdoored
plank.
her, too. They thought that she was completely safe.
And they got rid of her. And
Everybody was telling her exactly what she wanted to hear.
Oh, I'm so tired. I was so tired of her crying all the time.
Me too.
Were you crying?
Yeah, me too. Peter, you were too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The crying has got to go. You can't cry.
There's no crying on Big Brother.
No crying.
Well, with the exception of it was last year where Crybaby actually ended up winning.
Oh, I gotcha. I know it. And
Remember, I was so shocked by it and disappointed at the same time.
Yeah, I was too. I was really too.
Hey, Pete, so that we have information at the end of the segment here.
Yes.
I'm not linked up to the internet here. Can you do a quick Google and find out when the season finale for Big Brother is?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's the only time he's going
Not
on the
soon
Big
enough,
Brother
Peter.
website. Yes, yeah. Hey, so who's nominated and where are they going?
Currently nominated. Well, first of all, Fessy, which we still have the nickname Fake Teacher, and we haven't come up with a new nickname for him yet.
But he is a substitute teacher. Yeah. But I guess he's not
substitute gym teacher.
Oh, he's a substitute gym teacher. But you know what? He is also really he represents he's tall and a big guy and a really nice person, as is Tyler. Both of them. The Beach Boy, they're two nice people. I like them a lot. And he's the head of the household. So
that's the HOH right now.
So he nominated two people to go, and who were they?
Yeah, he nominated, and this is totally awesome. It shows you how they're playing each other in the house.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
So
no, you've heard about playing one another. Yeah.
So Nerd Stud is up, Brett. All right. And
you're just saying mid-September.
Mid-September. Yeah. So
okay, gotcha.
6 weeks. Yeah. 5 weeks maybe. There is an alliance, right?
Yes.
Right. The six. What are they calling it?
The level 6.
Level 6.
The level
right.
5 alliances.
So,
sure.
So you figure somebody else from the alliance will be put up, right? Because the other side only has like 3 or 4 people. No, Fessy puts up one of his own, Gawky V.
Oh my God, Gawky V, Scotty, the virgin, who's still a virgin as far as we know. You watched Late Night. He's no longer.
He's not getting anything. They all think that he's a little bit shaky.
What do you mean shaky? What, anxious? What is that? A little shaky, like he's not really a virgin, and we have to get shots or something.
No, like the first or second week.
What does that mean?
Like the first or second week, sketchy maybe. Maybe sketchy is a better word.
Sketchy,
because remember the first week or two. Maybe no week.
What
1,
are you
2,
saying? That he's
week,
like a stud? He's portrayed himself as a virgin?
Week 2 or 3, he wore a Scotty C shirt in support of Scotty C, and he voted Scotty C out.
No, Swaggy C.
Swaggy C. Yeah, Swaggy C.
Okay, yeah. So he's playing
he's a tad sketchy.
Gotcha.
So
has nothing to do with his sex life on the show. He went in there thinking that there was going to be love. Okay, and they're trying now. We've got the little person, the mini-me. Please forgive me again for calling him a little person. See, this is so politically incorrect. We've got him setting everybody up to think that Scotty is in love with Haley, who is in love with Fessy, etc. It's become this. All right. Yeah. So the bottom line before
and Fessy bought into it. That's why he put up Gawky V.
Yeah,
he thinks Gawky V is starting to.
He puts up one of his own men.
He's trying to. He thinks that one of his own men are trying to make a move on his girl.
Oh my God! All right,
that's why you don't do power couples in this game.
You never do.
It will destroy you.
Oh, it would. It's going to destroy both he and Haley. All right, so here's who's going to go home this weekend. or this tomorrow night. When is it? Thursday night.
Thursday night is the eviction.
I feel that the nerd stud Brett is going to go home. Brett is and he's been creating trouble. He talks about himself as if he were the god of all gods, and yet I see him personally being nice, but he presents himself as this sort, or maybe they present him, the writers present him as if he were some kind of egomaniac.
You always come up with these predictions,
and I'm wrong most of the time.
Because you don't think in advance as to what comes up on Wednesday for you.
Veto.
Yeah. All right. They played the veto out on it was. I think it was Saturday. They played the veto.
So you already know.
So when I'm watching Big Brother After Dark, or as Julie Chen says, be bad.
Yes.
You get it, Big Brother.
Yeah.
You see the person who won the veto contest walking around the house with the veto necklace around his neck.
So it's a he. Oh man, look. There we are.
I'm shocked.
Oh my God! So and you have to keep it quiet.
For you, out of respect,
thank you.
I'm not going to say who won the veto.
Look at me.
But because I know who won the veto, and because I know it doesn't matter who is put up to replace him,
right?
Gawky V is gone.
You think Gawky V is gone?
I think Gawky V is gone. Yeah, Scotty's walking out the door. All right,
Brett won the veto.
Yeah.
Oh God! All right.
I didn't say Brett.
No,
I didn't say Brett won the veto.
Okay.
It could have been Beach Boy who won the veto.
Okay.
All right. It could have been Mini Me who won the veto because they're all on the same team there. All right.
Oh God help me.
So I'm not going to confirm nor deny that Brett won the veto.
Well,
all I'm saying is that. I think Gawky V is going to go down because no matter who gets put up next, even if Nerd Stud didn't win and he was sitting there,
Brett.
Oh, I just blew it, didn't I? It would still be Gawky V going home because level 6 has the numbers. So here you go. You have that side of the house playing poorly and stupid all the time. The last head of household competition with Haley, with Farm Girl.
Yeah.
The house took over her HOH.
Right, it's true.
And one of her own went home, Rockstar.
Yeah, there we are.
All right, now the same team up there, Fessy is HOH. One of their own is going to go home.
Wild. All right.
That's my prediction.
Hey, let's draw this 5 minutes to a close because we maybe lost half of our listening audience.
I think there's something.
Or they're Googling.
Well, the
Big
reason
Brother.
why I started doing this a year and a half ago was because
You never found anybody that loved Big Brother as much as you.
Well, that. But I think
we bond. We're bonding.
I think it's just hilarious to have this 40-something kid talking with a 70-year-old man.
Wait a minute! I didn't know where you were going with a
segment.
70-year-old what?
And tweet it to Big Brother.
And just
can't mention
hear
age
them talk
anymore.
for 10 minutes about nonsense. I mean, I think there's some.
I honestly think you should edit out this segment and tweet it to Big Brother. They might start airing it for you.
Yeah,
we might become Big Brother. We might be on After Dark for all we know.
I'll get back to that in a second, but I just think it's hilarious the whole concept of what we're doing here. And I'm sure some listeners just say, "Geez, I don't believe they keep doing this week after week after week."
Oh my God! And you've got another 6 weeks, everyone, and I'll try to keep it to a minimum. I know I'm a big talker,
and it's more than just once a year now. Thank God.
And we got Stormy Daniels to look forward to. Celebrity Apprentice.
And I think Pete is on to something. We should archive every single.
You should tweet it at Big Brother.
Right, but what I should do first is archive.
Peter, you could be our agent. If we get we could do this.
Actually,
we could do it.
I have all the shows archived. I can just cut out every week what we've done about Big Brother and then just put them in order in one huge video and upload it and say, you know what? Check out what these idiots are doing in Western Massachusetts.
So next
you could become internet superstars.
Sure. Next week I'm going to be on the air, and then I'm off for 2 weeks for my eye lift. Everyone, plastic surgery.
Oh no, we said that at the same time.
Oh God,
God help me.
It's not going to be pretty, and please know everybody, I'm not doing it to make myself look any more handsome than I am.
You are.
Yeah. Thank you, Kathy. That's what I was looking for. But I don't want to look like Smokey Robinson or Barry Manilow, and I'm worried it's going to be next Wednesday, and then I'm off for 2 weeks, and so I don't know who we're going. You're going to have to.
I should show you a picture of me next to Wayne Newton, and maybe you'll think twice about doing this.
Oh my God! Hey, so
He's
everybody,
had some major work.
if you're a Big Brother fan and you want to come in and talk to while I'm gone, to have that same conversation,
Bob, you can call in,
Oh, I could call in, but I don't know where I'm going to be after the surgery.
You'll be home.
I will. I'm going to be looking like Joan Rivers on those big clips.
Again,
I'm going to look like the walking mummy.
But the first week he won't be able to call in.
No. I can't lift my
We're
head.
going to be live down on the green.
It's the Hoot Day show the week after next.
We'll Skype.
We'll be on the green. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll Skype, but I don't know if I'm going to be awake at that early in the morning, given my...
Well, Bob, how big is your passion for Big Brother?
Yes.
You know what?
Time for
there
that.
we are.
There's still a good possibility I'll be in San Diego that day anyway, so...
Hoot Day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that should be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I'm going to end up putting Kathy in charge of both my show and me replacing Bob on his show that morning.
Yeah, so at any rate, at any rate, everyone. Hey, I really appreciate you giving me the time of day.
The time of day is 8:39 and a half, Bob.
Oh, so I'm going to say goodbye and get out there and volunteer and enjoy the Rotary's Food Fest this week and Artworks on Friday night.
And you'll be stopping by our booth to talk.
And where's your booth down during the Rotary?
We're going to be set up right in front of the Renova building where we are every year, Bob.
Oh, my God.
Hasn't changed since they started.
Oh, that's right. Westfield on weekends. The shop is going to be, I think, open, or at least you can go in there and sign up for a course or two.
We'll be stealing electricity and a table or two from there.
Correct.
Well, are you going to stop down, Kath?
I usually do, yes.
Yeah, you're going to have do you ever eat on the street down there?
I do eat on the street.
What do you eat on the street?
Oh, what was it we had last year, Peter? Those brownies. Was it a brownie?
Oh, my God. This year they're edible. It's an edible. So good. Were they brownies? Alice B. Toklas.
It was a bacon.
Edie and Angie and what's his name? From their food truck.
Yeah.
Was it a bacon brownie? Is that?
Yes,
what
it was.
I remember you cats going nuts over those brownies.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
And then I had the mac and cheese from somewhere.
Well, guess what? There's a new mac and cheese this year. Woo-hoo. There's a mac and cheese being made with Granville Country Store cheese.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
So,
when Jennifer Gruska was on the other week talking about the event,
oh, my God.
she went over the vendors, and there's a couple of new ones. Somebody's going to be doing tater tots this year.
And there's going to be mac and cheese.
How
much are they going to get for that? Because Granville cheese costs a bundle, like $12 how do you, we're going to have to, you're going to have to ask Chef John Flattery.
Flattery.
I don't know.
Go to the break.
All right.
Hey, you know what? And we're going to do a double break here, so when we get back, we can just go right up to
I've already combined.
top of the hour. He's already combined.
Right,
yeah.
and you can
Bob's
have,
still here.
Yes, yeah. You can talk to Chef John Slattery. Did I get that right?
You did.
Yes, you did.
That time you did, yeah.
That time
about that mac and cheese. I want to know how to make a good mac and cheese.
First, you have to start with a roux.
Oh.
Do you know what a roux is?
Just listen on your way home, Bob.
Roux. No, I'm going to have to go. No, I know what a roux is.
A roux is 50% flour and 50% fat.
That's my belly. At any rate, bye. See you next week.
Get out there and volunteer, Bob.
Yeah, me too. Bye. Bye.
WSKB underwritten by Whip City Fiber, Westfield Gas and Electric, where they offer gigabit internet speed. Whip City Fiber, turning Westfield's neighborhoods into fiberhoods. On the web at whipcityfiber.com. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Barnes & Noble College Bookstore in the Ely Campus Center, offering Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise, all of your academic needs, and offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Available at the bookstore on campus or online at westfieldstate.bncollege.com.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Friday mornings is something different on 89.5 FM. It's JP's Talk About Town.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
8:49 on the nose, and Bob Plass is playing with the 3 of ours ponytails.
Honest to God, it's like a horse farm.
I got hit yesterday. Speaking of farm, I got whacked by a cow's tail yesterday. Holy smokes, that hurts. Right in the
Cow's tail.
There's some.
Isn't that what they make whips?
You talking about that candy thing that's like a caramel?
Isn't that what they make whips out of?
Yeah, I wish they did. No,
Big bony thing.
I was just walking by her and she went whap right there. And it's like wiry.
Bob Plass lost something again. Or maybe he thought he lost something. All right, he found it. He found it. All right, let's do a reset here, Bob. 8:49 and 3/4. Here on this. Bob, I'll email you about this, okay? I'm going to need therapy after this morning.
We're all going to need therapy.
It's the 21st day, oh man, of August in the year 2018. Anno Domini, this is the Den. Ken's Den. Ken Stomsky behind the microphone in front of the Radio Millennium Board for the first time on Tuesday morning in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Peter Cole's Kitten of the Keys. Side chick. Kathy Palmer.
With the tail on the face?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, with the tail of the and it wasn't a candy thing.
No.
The cow's tails. You know, I'm craving one of those now. You know, I'm already getting myself hungry, and I haven't even started talking to the chef. Oops. Because this morning we have Chef John Slattery in his house.
Hello.
Good morning.
At least
How are you, John?
At least you get his name right.
Lucky he didn't go running away after that first
I warned him.
third of the show.
That Big Brother part's a little tough for me to.
We have to stay on the air and be entertaining.
Well, you know, we don't know how long Bob Plass will be around, so I just want to make him happy right now, okay?
Hey.
I'm doing something.
He's not even out to his car yet. He can't hear that.
I'm doing something kind for an older
Jay
adult.
just drove off the road.
You be careful now. You be careful. Come on now.
So you weren't here last month when I was filling in behind the board.
No.
Or in front of the board, I should say.
No, but you
Yes.
were working the phones like a champion when I called in, standing on the log.
Yeah, you were standing on a log. And now, why were you standing on a log? What were you doing last month?
I did a lot of things last month, but for the whole month,
Were you proud of them all?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. It was a good month. It was very busy July.
Uh-huh.
But I was away at a summer camp for children in Huntington, and I was cooking 3 meals a day for 100 to 150 people for pretty much the whole month, about 28 days of the 30 days. And And meanwhile, I also taught a cooking class at another summer camp for first to third graders for one of the weeks in the middle of the day. That was a lot of fun.
Was that anything to do with involving maybe not burning your mouth on a Pop-Tart when it comes right out of the...
I could have went that way out, but instead I taught them how to make real food and showed them recipes and where food came from, how to make salad dressing, how to make mayonnaise, how to cook meat, how to, we went out to
So because you didn't
garden.
go that other route, now when they're in college, you're going to burn their mouth on a Pop-Tart.
Yeah, but they know how to make mayonnaise and how a proper salad is made and some of those other things. So
okay. Now I consider proper mayonnaise may not be considered proper mayonnaise for a first or second grader, because we add things like maybe a touch of vinegar of some sort.
Oh,
right.
Well, there's a little vinegar
and maybe a little bit of mustard powder.
Right. Well, let's see. You're making your own custom Miracle Whip or something at that point. A zesty sandwich spread.
Well,
mayonnaise.
it's more than just eggs and oil, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's fun, and the kids really enjoyed all of it, and seeing how things like that. We went on a field trip to the farmers market, and I introduced them to different farmers. What was really funny, I was shopping for the class at Outlook Farms in the morning, and I talked to the owners, and I was picking some vegetables out of there and talking about how local, and I was bringing them to the little kids. And then afternoon, they said, "Oh, you got to drive the school bus and take these kids on a field trip to the farmers market." I said, "I got to drive the school bus? I'm a chef." But we went to the farmers market, and sure enough, the very first farm stand we got to was the same farm that I had bought the vegetables from first thing in the morning out in Huntington.
You have a CDL?
Well, I think it was not a real school bus, at one step down where anybody can drive it kind of thing.
Oh, okay. It's like a converted F-350 or something like that.
Yeah, it's a 15-seater.
Okay, yeah. Because last time those big suckers made by Bluebird or International or whatever. Not only is it CDL, but you need school bus endorsements on them things.
Wow. yeah. I'm sure it wasn't one of those then.
Yeah,
but it was a good trip nonetheless.
Yeah, I don't think they would have let you get. I don't think you'd be able to handle it. I actually tried. I drove something even more unique than a school bus before. Now I don't have a CDL, but I had a friend who used to work at a garage. And they were working on regional transportation buses. If you can figure out what I'm talking about, I'm not gonna mention the name of the company, but it rhymes with BC something A. All right.
Okay.
All right. The something similar to the R2.
Shuttle bus type style.
Well, no.
I'm kind of lost here.
All right, the big what stops down at the space station downtown.
Okay, all right.
That type of bus.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And I'm trying. I'm being sneaky about this because even though it was 20 years ago, I don't want to take any odd chance of incriminating myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I had a buddy who was a mechanic, and he was working on one. And what you have to do after you get done working on some things is take it for a test drive.
Okay.
So I ended up. I was with him, and went down the road. And he's like, "Hey, do you want to try this thing out?" I'm like,
and of course you said no. I really shouldn't.
Well, yeah, sure. He goes, all right, drive up to the. Now this is in the middle of winter, and not all the lots were plowed out properly. And he says, "All right, drive up to the shopping center up by the highway." I'm like, all right. He goes, all right, let's blow some donuts. So here I am. I'm blowing a donut in one of those buses, which was just nuts.
And how much do these things cost?
It was the freakiest thing. I don't know, $150,000 each.
I'm sure.
But it was one of the weirdest experiences I've ever had in a moving vehicle.
Oh, Ken.
Well,
that's
Ken,
way
that doesn't
too funny.
surprise any of us, honestly.
Well, it was test driving it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You gotta go through the emotions when you're
I
test
needed
driving.
to make sure it would turn properly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, because that happens a lot in parking lots with buses in the snow. Yeah. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, you go past spec when you test something, just like Scotty on the Enterprise.
So you would say, how long were you driving this bus?
Oh, we had it out maybe 20 minutes, 25
Really?
minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody else was there. I mean,
Good thing. Good
Yeah.
thing.
yeah. So this is where we get after somebody mentions driving a school bus.
How? Let me ask you this though: how difficult is it to drive one of those buses?
I was joyriding cars when I was 14 years old, so I've never really had an issue driving things. I've driven huge rider trucks and moving vehicles, so it's like driving an RV.
Okay.
You know, if you've ever driven an RV, it's about the same thing.
No, I have not ever driven.
But having said
No.
having said that, a lot of people who have RVs should not be driving them.
I think that's very true, and I think that's that's a really good
and you
point.
don't need a CDL. They
I
let you in
know.
there with a regular license.
You're absolutely
You
right.
can drive right off the lot with one.
You need all of those licenses to drive the trucks and to drive the large vans and to drive all that. But you can get into this how many foot long vehicle,
Some of them are real.
and they're
big.
huge, and they don't handle like a car, and anybody can drive them. That's
Yeah,
frightening.
you're talking
That's frightening.
so what, 30 feet?
Sure.
All right,
Sure.
because one of the longest trailers you can have on a truck is 53.
And it's not only the length; it's also the width.
Well,
It's just an I don't
the
know.
width isn't all that bad.
It fascinates me.
But what's dangerous is that what are they? Maybe 6 tons.
I have no clue.
What's the gross vehicle weight of one of them things?
I don't know.
Not our expertise.
Has to be under 26,000 pounds.
26,000 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Otherwise, you need a Class B license.
All right. So that 26,000, 26 and a half, that's 13 tons.
13.
Gross
Tons, and what do you get?
Give yourself the buzzer.
You know, I'm not on that page. You know, I'm on another page.
I can tell you're on another page today, Ken.
We're not sure what page. It could be blank.
yeah, I have to give myself the buzzer because you don't have it, right?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Peter, don't fail me now, please.
I'm on a different laptop. I don't know if you noticed. Mine's down for the count.
Oh, no.
So you were driving the school bus, and take a look at this. It's 8:59 and a half. We're going to have to take a break. and
We'll reconvene in just a bit.
I do want to talk about you cooking for, what was it, 100, 150 people each day?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
All right, that was the number, and I wanted to figure out what cooking techniques you were using for that. And then at some point, I want to get into lactic fermentation.
So, Ken, pick 1, 2, 3, or 4. That's the song I'll play.
How about picking the one on my list here?
There's
because
so
it's
many
9
good
o'clock.
songs. We can do that.
Yeah, my top of the hour.
Two.
Yep,
Pick
you have
2.
Do you have that one queued up?
Yeah, pick 2.
All right, are you lying to me? Is 2 something else?
No.
2 is something else.
No, it's not.
All right, 9 o'clock, WSKB 89.5 FM Westfield.
What's your frequency? Can it be short? Been so dreamy. I was sprung and locked out. Not up to speed.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley, with convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut. Visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Friday mornings is something different on 89.5 FM. It's JP's Talk About Town.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
9:05 in the morning. This is the 21st day of August in the year 2018. Anno Domini. This is a Denkin's Den. I'm Ken Stumpsy. Pete is behind the board. Kathy is in here, and we have Chef John Slaughter in the studio.
Hello. Good morning.
You left that off a
Morning,
flat.
Chef John. Good to see you back again.
Good to see
from
you as
your-
well.
From your month in the wilds.
Months in the wilds. It was great, though. The lake was right there. It had this amazing population of freshwater mussels, but all of my research told me that I couldn't eat them. So, but I was like, wow, we could have a heck of a clam lake.
Those are the mussels that attach to your boat,
No, these are like
okay. So these aren't the guys over at the Quabbin then.
not the zebra mussels. These are more.
Yeah, zebra.
These look like steamers, but they don't have a neck like a steamer clam. They are just like a mussel. With like
So
a
why
ocean
can't you
mussel.
eat them?
Well, if they take a long time to grow to a decent size, which means they've been in an environment for a very long time. So even if the water's clean, you don't know. Because they absorb toxins and hold them in their bodies, unfortunately.
Sure, yeah.
So that was all the research. If I took a couple of clams and sent them off to a lab maybe and they did the research to see how high the toxic levels were in them or whatnot, it could be possibly edible, but I wasn't going to take that chance. But really
So
neat.
it's the environment, not the clam itself, or not the mussel itself. Excuse me. It's the environment they're in that's causing it.
Right. Well, it's not that they're bad. It's just that because
Right,
they're
I get
filter
it.
feeders, people boat.
Got it,
50
yeah.
years or more, people have been using gasoline boats in that lake, so they slowly, pick up some of that stuff, unfortunately. But really neat. The woods were beautiful. Saw bears and foxes and eagles and owls and hawks and all that great stuff. And the F-15s came out and flew over the lake a couple times from down here. So it was good.
Yeah, so you knew you weren't that far away from civilization.
Yeah, it was a good time, and the kids were all wonderful, and the counselors and everybody. It was really enjoyable to prepare so much food.
Do they stay for the full month, or do they stay a week, or is it changing population?
It was middle schoolers 1 week, high schoolers the next week, and then a week of middle schoolers and little kids, and then a week of little kids. So it was.
What kind of food did you cook for the little kids? Because they're a little bit difficult.
Well, so when I go into any operation and a fill-in or a per diem or a one-shot kind of thing, usually they'll either have a menu set or I'll help them make a menu. So in this case, they had basically like a school food nutritional layout menu. It was pretty simple stuff, grilled
With
cheeses.
ketchup as the vegetable?
Yeah, some of that kind of, but still serving something healthy every meal. But what I did was we had an herb garden out back, and I tweaked something so that the kids, especially a lot of the kids were from the inner city, that they bring them up from New York and stuff like that, haven't had real vegetables or real cooking or some kind of things like that. So I, used some fresh herbs in the dishes and made like creamy butter sauces for the canned green beans and it might have been canned green beans and canned corn, but I made them taste something different and presented them differently to the kids. And we did they had a movie night each week, so I did like a big gala hors d'oeuvre party for their dinner with all kinds of little like fruit on sticks and meatballs and things that kids eat. And it was a lot of fun. We were talking about mac and cheese. I was making 5 or 6 4-inch pans, to feed 200 persons worth of macaroni and cheese to feed 100 kids because they like macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, most kids do.
Yeah, so the feeding of the 150 people, Kathy kind of got into it. So you're not typical cafeteria stuff. It's slightly elevated because you're putting your own little touch on it.
Yeah, exactly. It was typical cafeteria stuff, but with a little one-up. And, it was great. I was getting up at 5:30 in the morning to make sure they had breakfast for 7:30, 8 o'clock. And then, lunch was around noon and dinner at 6. And then some nights they had, like, weenie roasts or s'mores on the campfire late at night and that kind of stuff. So I helped coordinate all that for them. It was a lot of fun.
So were you running the whole program? Did you have to worry about ordering food or stock or
they had a layout and a system in place. I just helped them tweak it to make it a little better and more efficient for the week and to put a little bit of good spin on it.
Yeah, and they stuck you in a cabin the whole time.
Yeah, they gave me an old trailer, but it was big enough so the whole family could come visit me on the weekends and when they had time too. So it was a good family time kind of, and it was a good month.
And you had running water in it.
Yeah, I had running water. And air conditioning, except when it started to rain, the air conditioning stopped working.
Oops.
That was kind of neat. It was a good experience. Like I said, it was nice to be in the fresh air and drink clean water.
So it wasn't quite a nice rustic cabin, but it was a step above a van down by the river.
Yeah, we definitely step above that.
I love that. I love that skit. You know what I'm referencing there, Kathy, right?
No, I don't.
In a van down by the river. Chris Farley.
Chris Farley, rest in peace. But
okay.
Yeah,
it was a funny
it was a stressed out motivational speaker who had everything taken away from him, was divorced, and all he had left was a van which he had parked down by the river.
Okay.
You think everything a motivational speaker shouldn't be, and it was him.
Yeah, you're right. Is this the first year you've ever worked at this camp, or do you do it regularly?
No, well, it was the first time I'd done a whole camp there. I volunteered with them in the past and done some, when I was running the restaurants, I didn't have a lot of time to do things, but I had worked at that facility doing some winter carnivals and some other things in the past. It's a really neat facility up there, so it was a good time. This whole, being able to not have the daily restaurant to go to is just opened me up to being in so many different fun places and helping so many different people and feeding people of all different kinds everywhere. So it's been really awesome.
Yeah, and you would do this again?
I would. It was, it was definitely this time of year. I mean, how better to be in the woods and to do that and to be able to, the family was able to come visit me and spend time with me while I was working, and it was great.
All right, one big question for all these people out there with children: their favorite food was or is?
The big hit was grilled cheese and tomato soup day.
Really?
Yeah.
You never outgrow that.
But I made my signature cheesy tomato bisque from the different restaurants that I always make, so that they were really impressed. They really liked that, and we had big fluffy grilled cheese sandwiches.
Now, did they put ketchup on the grilled cheese?
Some of them. We left the ketchup. They did not go through nearly as much ketchup as I thought
I never
they
did
would.
that.
You never put ketchup on your grilled cheese?
No. They were dipping it right in the tomato soup, though. What was cool was seeing especially the little kids coming back for a second bowl of soup. I even made cream of broccoli soup one day, and I used a Vitamix. So I didn't have to use a strainer or a food mill to get it all smooth.
Yeah.
The Vitamix just made the most beautiful cream of broccoli soup ever, and even the little kids ate it. And I was like, that was, and they came back for more, and I was like, that's great. That's the biggest thing to me. When somebody comes back for seconds and they actually liked it, especially people you didn't think might like the kind of food it is, that's the biggest part that I enjoy.
Yeah.
So
Especially with kids, because sometimes if they don't know what it is, I'm not eating that. But in a large group, I think the pressure's on them to try it. It's not like at home with your mom when you can go, I don't like that.
Yeah.
They can't do it there.
And especially, it was very regimented kind of, thing. So everybody took a little bit of everything, or, and, there may have been some dietary things that I had to help a couple kids with or whatnot. But, they most were willing to try just about everything. It was great. It was good. It was good experience.
Did you have a lot of allergies, food allergies that you had to work around?
Not nearly as many as I thought. There was maybe 1 or 2 a week. So, I mean, that's not bad. I know in other places, I was working with some Australians who were, the camp counselors and stuff like that, and they were telling me about how camps run there, and they said they have so many food allergies. Almost every kid has a different. So it's I was surprised it wasn't that bad here.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on Vitamix because I've got a blender, I've got an immersion blender, I've got a processor,
I have all those.
I've
things.
got a ricer. I don't have a Vitamix.
Magic Bullet, same thing.
Ken.
I had a Magic Bullet, and I've used the
big
Vitamix,
one?
and Ken, you got a blender. I go, no, a blender's not a Vitamix.
Yeah, the Ninja might be close, but I still don't think it's as durable because I've used both of those too, and just the build. I mean, they built the Vitamix in the '70s, and they really haven't changed much. And it's just a strong.
And the whole idea, it's not a higher wattage motor. It's the torque that they put into it to rip through things.
Yeah, well, it's those metal gears that just aren't going to chew themselves. Most of your blenders they get stripped. This is not going to get stripped.
Yeah.
It's a good. I mean, you can make hot soup.
Yeah, and there's a design.
Instant cheese sauce. You just put the warm milk in and drop cheese in and cheese sauce.
Yeah, and there's a design going at the bottom of that carafe. Is that what you would call on a blender? Yeah, where it doesn't form that it doesn't form that suction pocket, that void where it ends up spinning around doing nothing.
Yes.
The Vitamixes, they pull everything down no matter what is there. You never have to poke and prod or shake the thing in order to get it to work.
Yeah, so those are cool tools. I endorse them, I guess. Definitely for soups and sauces and all kinds of fun stuff. Smoothies, amazing smoothies.
You said you were doing cooking lessons.
Lessons,
very interesting.
Yeah. So that was at the JCC in Springfield. I was asked to do a set of cooking classes for them, and that was great. It was I had about 15 first to third graders, and we really talked about
cool.
Every day I made them Kool-Aid from fresh fruit and sugar. And taught them how sugared them up. And we do that first thing. What kind of Kool-Aid? But I would talk about different kinds of fruits. The very first day, I just wanted to talk about comparing and contrasting ingredients. So I brought 3 different kinds of apples, an orange, and a strawberry, and a tomato. And I started with apples are apples and comparing apples to apples, and then we compared apples to oranges. And then I said, well, what about this fruit? It's red and round, but it's what's different? And it was a really good exercise to just get the kids thinking about ingredients, and that was fun. And then I laid out about 15 or so different spices like vanilla beans and star anise and things that smelled and that they could touch and taste, and let them play with all that and kind of just experiment. And then I talked about what kind of foods haven't you ever tried, and then I worked all those into the next part of the couple days.
Yeah, I appreciate how you had the tomato there in comparison with the fruits.
Right.
Because as we know, tomato is a fruit, regardless of what Michelle Obama says about it being a vegetable, because
it has seeds.
And then I had
because the
strawberry
pizza,
with the seeds on the outside.
It was declared with her little program that the program for the school lunches, the sauce on the pizza, that's your vegetable. Ipso facto, tomato is a vegetable, and
no,
it's not.
They
It's
lump fruit and vegetables together, though.
Yeah,
we're not separating the two. It's the same. When they talk about nutrition and what you should have in your servings per day, they consider them to be the same category,
yeah, but
as opposed to protein and carbohydrates.
The pyramid is different than what we rember it to be. Now.
They did change it.
So it's different. So we can't go down that track.
It's eat for color.
That's what I talk about. When you see me on Mass Appeal, I'm always about eat the rainbow, and I put all the display of different things. And I did a backyard barbecue on Sunday in East Hampton. It's a musical performance, and I made this really nice veggie stir fry with all these colors. I picked the squashes out of the garden, and we had some shiitake mushrooms, so we had white and red, and I had sweet potatoes for orange and green from the green squashes and different colored peppers. You get all those phytonutrients from the different colors, and it's really awesome.
I want to talk about 22 when we get back. I also want to talk about some other things. I got a nice little surprise here that we'll get a kick out of. 9:17 in the morning. We'll be back right after this.
She was hot. She was singing, "Don't turn around." Uh-oh. The comic stars in town. Uh-oh. You desire, you know why. The more you live, the faster you will die. Alex Clark from the start. just enough to know what she really meant. And I got to thinking while she was talking that her nose had told the story of the special places that she goes. I mean, she rides with the others in the subway singing, don't turn around. The commissar's in town. If it talks to you and you don't know why, you say your life is gonna make you die. Alles klar, Herr Kommissar. Cha, 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 cha. Cha, 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 cha. Well, we meet Jill and Joe and Brother Hip and the whole cool gang and all. They're rapping here, they're rapping there, but she's climbing up the wall. It's a clear case, said Commissar, cause all the children know they were sliding down into the valley, they were slipping on the same snow. Hear the children, don't turn around. Jojo, the Commissar's in town. He's got the power and you're so weak and your frustration will not let you speak. La 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 la. Don't turn around. Jojo, the Commissar's in town. And if it talks to you, then you know why. The more you live, the faster you will die. Don't turn around. Jojo, the Commissar's in town. Don't turn around. Jojo, the Commissar's in town. Alles klar, Herr Kommissar. Don't turn around. Jojo, the Commissar's in town. Don't turn around. Jojo, the Commissar's in town. Don't turn around. Jojo, the Commissar's in town. Don't turn around.
Underwriting for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield, serving the youth of the Whip City and surrounding communities since 1969. For more information on the Great Futures Club for ages 3 to 5, happening weekdays, and the Club Teen Center for ages 11 and older, weekdays from 6:30 till 8 p.m., go online at bcgwestfield.org or visit the club at 28 West Silver Street. The Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield. Great futures start here. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Commercial Distributing Company of Westfield. Now in its third generation of family ownership, Commercial is one of the premier beverage distributors of Western Massachusetts. The Plasek family and the staff of Commercial Distributing wishes you good times throughout the year and urges you to drink responsibly. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Thursday morning from 6 till 8, it's Patrick Berry, owner of the Westfield News Group,
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
9:22. Hey, Chef.
Yes, sir.
I wasn't in my office half of last week, so I didn't watch much local television during the day. I know that even though you were out in the woods, you were still pre-recording things, so you still had a presence on WWLP.
Yeah, I was going in the afternoon after I cooked lunch for the summer camp kids. I'd fly down to Chicopee and record the segment that they would air the next day or the day after that or something like that. Yeah.
All right. So, what did we miss out on? You left preparing.
So. There were 3 things in the month of July that I made, and the first one, I actually was part of that kids' cooking class. I had them help me, and we made it in the kids' cooking class the day before. Prepped it up. It was a grilled chicken over a strawberry salad kind of dish. Very kind of simple, but the kids helped me prep all the ingredients, and then I went to the studio, and I said, tomorrow we'll watch it, because it was supposed to be shown on Thursday at 11, like my normal spot, but it was the week of the air show, and they had the air show on Mass Appeal, so they pushed my segment till it was like on a Monday. But it was a nice, simple, light summer salad with a grilled chicken and some strawberries and other stuff. It was really nice. I did a sponsored segment for Smithfield Pork. That over the month, that was nice. We made some bratwursts and had a little buffet of bratwurst, which I then took that information. And just last week, I was at the Harley Davidson dealership in Southampton, and we had Harleys and hot dogs for dogs with the Thomas J. O'Connell Animal Shelter, and the beer guy was there, and I had like 5 or 6 different kinds of sausages and the accoutrements to go with it. It was a lot of fun for that. And then I did some sponsored segments for Dave's Killer Breads and Bob's Red Mill. Talking about they make some really great instant oatmeals now that my wife and I turned in some amazing, super healthy oatmeal cookies we've been gnawing on.
So you mentioned the Red Mill. A lot of product they create is made for baking and cooking.
Yeah.
And I happen to be... I usually don't read the instruction manuals to things.
No surprise.
But I ended up going through the book for my my Instapot. All right. It's the Gourmet brand. All right. But it is a Instapot. And there is a recipe in here. Now, for those of you on a 40-inch TV or better, I'm holding up a picture of what is this luscious-looking New York-style cheesecake with butterscotch. So there's the picture of it. All right, and we all know what a cheesecake is.
One of my favorites.
Not to be confused with beefcake.
Cheesecake is my favorite.
You know, if Pete had it, he would have done this. All right, I'll give it to myself. I was doing that for myself for 5 weeks. What's one more week, right? Buddy, old pal, old friend of mine.
Censoring yourself, Ken?
Sure, whatever you want.
So, this is great, Chef. You see the picture of the cheesecake and the ingredients list below it. Now, this was shipped with tens of thousands of Instapots. And so this is how to make a New York-style cheesecake with butterscotch in an Instapot. And for the cheesecake, okay, regular cheesecake ingredients. Graham crackers, okay, butter, cream cheese, sugar, eggs, cream, salt, vanilla, and water.
Sounds pretty right.
All right. So that's a cheesecake. That sounds like a normal cheesecake. All right. So the ingredients aren't any different for an Instapot than it is you actually baking one. Right. And then you have
it's like the double boiler. I get how an Instapot can make a cheesecake. That's great.
Yeah. Well, the Instapot does more than just pressure cook and slow cook. It sautés. It does all types of crazy things. Now, here are the ingredients for the butterscotch. Now, I'll remind you folks once again on Channel 15 if you're watching, and if you want to see what's going on and you don't get Channel 15, you can always go to westfieldtv.org. That's westfieldtv.org. So there is the picture. If you're on a 40-inch TV or larger, you can see a luscious cheesecake with butterscotch topping.
I'm ignoring that because I don't want to get hungry.
Oh, I was already hungry before 9 o'clock today because I was talking cowtails. Yeah,
Cowtails.
So-
Candy.
So what's in the topping, Ken?
for the butterscotch, the ingredients are half a pound of ground pork, half a pound of ground beef, half a cup of milk, 2 eggs, 1 cup plain breadcrumbs, 3 tablespoons of basil, 2 garlic cloves, 1 teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of crushed pepper.
Oh, no.
That sounds like the inside to French meat pie. That sure sounds like typo.
Right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Where was that manufactured, and who was the?
That meat mixture is your butterscotch topping for this cheesecake.
Did you look to see?
Some poor proofreader action there.
Did you look to see if the butterscotch topping is somewhere else?
Or is the recipe
good
for meat pie or meat
Yeah,
stuffing?
it's probably. Is there a meat pie or?
Okay, meatballs and red sauce. Meatballs and red sauce. All right.
Okay.
There's a picture of some meatballs sitting on some
no.
pasta.
Oh no! It
All right.
goes on.
All right. For the red sauce. Okay, it goes into onions and tomatoes and tomato paste and oregano.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the meatballs, half a pound of ground pork, half a pound
There it
of ground
is.
beef,
There you
half a cup of meat.
The dangers
Two
of using a
eggs.
template.
There you go.
So, for the meatballs and red sauce, they got the meatballs right.
Did a cut and paste.
Those same ingredients.
Yeah.
But if I go back another recipe,
Oh dear Lord.
mini meatloaf with creamy mashed potatoes. There's some more ground pork and ground beef, but the ingredients are definitely different.
Oh, that's funny.
And then barbecue
Oh, my
ribs.
Lord.
Spare ribs,
Oopsie.
salt, pepper, and barbecue sauce.
I thought, when I saw that what you were about to present us, so I was thinking it wasn't really a cheesecake. It was one of those mashed potato cakes with the
okay.
meat inside and looks like a cheesecake. I could have totally seen that with meat inside.
Yeah.
The risotto recipe is right. The glazed recipe, glazed vegetable recipe looks right. Chicken soup recipe looks right.
Just a one slip through.
Yeah. So nowhere else can you go in this booklet and get the ingredients for the butterscotch to make that luscious New York style
Well, it certainly
cheesecake with
looks
butterscotch.
Good. Yeah, I let me see the
Maybe they'll
picture
send you a free
again.
Instapot if you point out their error.
I'm not seeing the
Ooh,
the
good
pork
idea.
crust.
You're not seeing what?
I'm not seeing the pork crust on the top of that.
Right on
the
the
top,
pork
right.
crust.
Ground
Okay.
pork
So that's what I was
and-
thinking.
You know what?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
Yeah, I
what-
see what you
And
did.
brown
there.
mashed potatoes and brown gravy.
All you gotta do is add bacon to the butterscotch recipe.
Now I'm
It's
getting really
better.
hungry. Bacon butterscotch is actually delicious.
It
and,
is.
and I wonder how many people have actually complained about that. I do hope no one has tried to follow it.
You know that.
Some idiot has, yes, I know.
I wonder if in the method of prep it actually has the listed ingredients for the sauce. Would be the real question.
While the cheesecake is cooking, make the butterscotch sauce. Melt the butter over medium heat, then add the brown sugar and whisk until the sugar is melted and is smooth. Slowly add the heavy cream. None of these ingredients were in that list.
No. So you have to guess on the measurements.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, of course, it looks like a standard butterscotch.
A pound of butter, 2 pounds of brown sugar, and cook it, and then add cream and.
You're good?
Yeah, that's good.
And Bob's your uncle.
Yeah. That's the Australians were all saying that. That's a big thing when I was at the camp. That's one of the things they say down there.
What's
I
that?
learned a lot of Aussie slang. It was kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and Bob's your uncle. And of course, over in Ireland, it's Jim's your uncle, right?
I don't even know what that means.
Every other person over there is named James.
Okay.
It's a phrase that they say that means anything.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
But Bob's your uncle is the popular one.
Years ago, when one of my kids' friends was over, and I couldn't remember their name, and my daughter was so insulted. She went, "Mom, don't you remember my kids' names?" And I said, "Well, you don't know all my friends' names." And she said, "That's easy. All your friends are named Bob." And I thought about it. She's probably right. A lot of my friends are named Bob.
Yeah, my grandmother, my mother's mother, had 1, 2, 3, 4 children, I think. If I'm counting them right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when it came to girls, 3 out of the 5, they'd all be called she'd go through the 3 names all at once. You know, San Joan Care. Because
One of you answer me.
yeah, so they were all called that same. You know,
That's funny.
9:32 going on to 9:33 in the morning. We'll be back right after this.
Sweet dreams are made of these.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. On the web at baystatedental.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
He rules the roost on Thursday from 6 till 10. It's Patrick Berry.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
9:38 WSKB 89.5. This is Ken's Den. We're here with Chef John Slattery. Good morning, John.
Hello.
What the hell was that?
Hello.
Oh, my God.
Hello.
All right, so I've almost mastered fermentation. All right.
Of what?
Well, you know that for when I first started, I was using municipal water, and then I was filtering municipal water, and it still wasn't enough. So I've been using the bottled water that you get at the market when I need to use water to do fermentation, and it started to work. And because it's summertime and there's a little more heat going on in the house, because I like it on the cool side in the winter, the fermentation process is working better. So I started off with the half sour, which are just they're awesome. All right, the half sour is that pickle you get at the New York deli. Mm-hmm. All right, there's no vinegar involved there.
Right,
it's lactic fermentation. And then once I was successful with that, I got a bunch of Napa, and I threw some scallion in there, and some chili powder. And then I let it sit for a week or so out. And bingo, kimchi. And then I took some regular cabbage and I shredded that up. Mm-hmm. And I put it through a process. And a week later, sauerkraut. So I've done all three now.
Nice.
And I figured out that I'm not soaking the cabbage for the kimchi or the sauerkraut. What I'm doing is I'm chopping it up, and I put it into a pan, and I salt it. I let it sit for about 5-10 minutes, and then I go in there with like a potato masher, and I just start to compress, the cabbage and the veg in there, and it's pushing the water out of the product. So now I have enough liquid with the cabbage to shove, and I'm using mason jars for this, to shove into the mason jar, and you pack it as tight as it can, and its own fluid, its own liquid covers the product. So it's completely submerged. Mm-hmm. And then to kind of create my own airlock, I've been taking a Ziploc bag and putting in the bottled water in the Ziploc bag and getting rid of the air in the Ziploc bag and closing it up and shoving it into the top of the mason jar to keep everything submerged and to keep things from going in, but there's enough for the gas and whatnot to come out. Because I just screw the jar on loosely on the mason jar.
Interesting.
So that's how that's what I got
without a lid. The bag is the lid.
No, I
get
the plastic reusable lids for the mason jars, and I do like a one turn. And there's enough for it to seep out, because I'll get home from work, and there'll be a quarter of a cup of extra liquid in the sheet pan that I put these jars into. Mm-hmm. It's amazing how much additional water that this stuff is generating. Where's this water? Where's this liquid coming from?
Byproduct of fermentation process?
Well, yes, I know that.
Right, as they convert the sugars and the other and the starches.
But it's like it creates more liquid.
Yeah, well, it's coming out of, it's more liquid that was stored in the vegetables that you hadn't gotten out in the first place.
Yeah.
The the microbes eating it is making more liquid.
Yeah. So it's the additional gas being produced by the fermentation process that probably takes up more volume in that.
Yes,
jar.
right. The gas in the spaces too. Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing.
You can see the bubbles in the jar.
And I know once the bubbles stop, I leave it out for another day or two, usually beyond that point, and then I toss it into the fridge.
Yeah.
So that's my tell with the sauerkraut and the kimchi. You know, the bubbles kind of go away because the bubbles are things rotting. Kathy, it's rotting.
No, it's natural
fermentation is
beer. People do the same thing. When
fermentation is rotting.
I made some ambrosia from peaches once that came out really nice. Yeah, in a gallon jar with enough space for it to breathe, and then it forms its scum cap and everything. But if you use you can make an Exacto on the top of the scum cap and extract the ambrosia from the middle. That's really cool. Yeah.
So then the half sours, so slightly different process. You need to stick them into a brine in order to get them to ferment. And it's like two cups of water to two tablespoons of salt, and that's it. And you put that mixture into the mason jar with the cucumbers.
Yeah,
I learned you have to.
You're making pickles.
You have to take the ends off.
Natural pickles, though, without the vinegar, they still get sour, but without using vinegar.
Yeah.
You can do beets the same way.
Really?
My mom and I used to.
that.
My mom, well, the whole family, we did pickles in the summer because we used to get them from Hatfields from Lipinski Farms up there.
Yeah, I do. Several years back at Main Street, my farmer Fran, who's got a farm out in Russell, he would call me up in the morning and say, "How many crates of pickles do you want me to pick?" And he would bring them to me, and we'd have the brine ready. So within 2 hours of him picking a milk crate of pickles, we were making 5-gallon pails with a really nice vinegar brine that had local garlic and local dill and cider vinegar. It was like a health tonic pickle, and we made 15 5-gallon pails that summer. It was awesome. They kept the restaurant in pickles until February.
I've been making the vinegar refrigerator pickles as well. Dill, salt, sugar, but the half sours. I really wanted to make a lot at one time, and I wanted to have a real crock in order to do it in, but the few crocks that I've found, they're like $150. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I went back and I used the mason jars for those, which is not a bad idea because there's a tell that you can look at visually to know, okay, maybe it's time for me to not leave these outside and put them in the fridge. The water gets wicked cloudy. And as soon as you can't see the pickle through the cloudiness of the mason jar, that's the time to put it in the fridge. Now, I don't know how long those suckers are going to keep in the fridge. I've gone 4 weeks. I still have one more jar. I'm probably going to get it in them tonight. So if I don't show up for my show next week, that there
have
was
you noticed
a problem.
any changes in them as the weeks progressed, or have they been consistent?
I have noticed with the half sours, they do get more sour, even though they're not fermenting.
Are they getting mushy, though?
They haven't gotten mushy, but right at the beginning, some of them never got super crisp. But I've had, out of the jar, I've had down in New York, pickles that don't have a crunch or a bite, the half sours.
Yeah.
So some of them have come out soft, but I noticed that when I cut off more of the blossom end, the pickles tend to be a little crunchier when I make them, because there's some type of enzyme in that end of the cucumber that makes them go soft.
Now, what does it mean? You said, are they soft? What would that mean?
I was just wondering how they were transgress. I mean, eventually they'll continue probably to get soft. I don't know if the fridge stops that, or if they'll lose their crisp.
Slows it down a lot.
Right, exactly. So I mean, eventually they'll be no good.
Yeah. The kimchi I have doesn't last long enough.
Yeah, well, that won't go bad really, because that's got the stuff trapped in it better versus the way the pickles are done. Without the brine.
So, cucumbers are plenty this time of year. I should just not think about making them last and get through them and make another batch.
You know what else is coming plenty right now? It's this time of year. It's early this year, but I've been out hiking and the mushrooms are coming.
Oh, really?
Like crazy. Like I picked some beautiful chicken in the woods on Sunday morning and used them at the barbecue I was at. It was just, and it's a little early, but the weather's just been really conducive to, to that.
It's been so damp.
Yeah, and the humidity's been high. And
overnight.
You go out, if you keep hiking the same trail every day, you can see the mushrooms just pop up overnight, or you can see it start the next day, and let's give it a day or two to grow up to a decent size. Pretty awesome stuff.
So it sounds like I have your approval with the whole lactic fermentation process. It sounds like I'm doing it safe.
Yeah.
And
yeah, no, the all sounds very good. The kimchi is perfect recipe, and sounds like you got your half sour down. So awesome.
All right, it'll be interesting to see where this goes to come late fall or winter when I keep my house at 60.
And then you can make pickled like fall squashes, like a butternut or something weird like that would do good in that process too.
Never thought of
interesting
squash. Green beans. I think I'm going to do a batch of them.
No, definitely. There's second crop green beans should be up right about now.
Now with the green beans, am I thinking I should do a vinegar pickle, or should I do a fermentation pickle with those?
I would probably personally do a vinegar pickle.
That's what I'm leaning towards.
But you could definitely make like a kimchi version with green beans too.
Yeah. Yeah. I just now
like
my
a
mind,
spicy bean with the maybe some corn and some green beans and the cabbage and some red peppers, a little pepper flake. That sounds like it might
almost like a green bean salad sort of
kind of right, but natural, but do it the kimchi style to get that funkin' bite.
Those are good.
Now I'm just thinking of all types of crazy things to add to the kimchi.
I can see it. I can see
and
the
this is more than green onion and daikon.
Yeah,
which, by the way, I friggin' love daikon.
I mean, it's one of my favorite vegetables because it's so versatile. I brought them in I brought one in that was as big as the children's arms to show at the cooking class. And that's the thing. That's what's great about coming on the show. We're talking with you, Ken. People that are really like food can share the knowledge with people that haven't tried these things or experimented with it, and it's just there's so much great things out there that people sometimes are afraid to try.
Food is almost like a universal language. You and I might not like each other, but you start to talk about food or try some food or share some food. That can change a lot. It's 10 of Pete. I think I'm going to jump right into a quick break to pay homage to our underwriters and then get right back to issues here. We'll be right back.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Wednesday mornings from 6 till 8, it's Tina Gorman with Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
9:51 in the morning. We have a side conversation going on in here about
Catch open the mic.
Ketchup. I was telling them that I was.
So it's still good for
to-
barbecue sauce?
Oh yeah,
John?
yeah, I think absolutely. You're gonna cook it, and it would turn into vinegar. You put vinegar in barbecue sauce anyway. So like that's I always go to as my spice cat.
These
spices,
are unopened.
As my spices get old, or condiments and things like that, I always turn them into some other thing because expiration dates on condiments are best
You could
buy.
probably keep
use
them
your
forever.
Own, use your own judgment on the best
If they
buy date.
smell okay,
By
then
law,
they're okay.
by law, they have to put a 2-year best by date on just about everything. Even some of the beers, like even those beers that you're supposed to keep in the back of your closet for years, they still have a best by date of 2 years from when you buy them.
250 million year old Himalayan pink salt has an expiration date on it, Kathy, doesn't it?
I had to send that to
But they won't put labels on. But they stopped the law that puts labels to tell us where the food has come from, and that's one of the things that actually bothers me. Is they got into that origin thing, so we knew where our food was coming from, and that was repealed. And I think that we have a right to know where our food comes from. Whether or not it's going to go bad, we could determine that, but we should know where at least
Mexico or California, most of the vegetables. It's true. Mexico, California, the biggest vegetable
But
growers.
even the meats come from other countries, or sometimes they leave our country, get processed, and come back to our country. And there's a lot of stuff like that we're not being informed of anymore. I think that's unfortunate.
It happens a lot with jerky. If you ever read the bag of commercially available.
Alberto's in the U.S. Some of the other stuff.
Read some of the packages.
The mass-produced stuff is more what I'm hinting at.
Kathy, you said something about fries and ketchup. Did I catch you right?
I did, yes. I was talking to someone who was visiting down south, and for my 2 travelers here who go everywhere, he asked for ketchup. And the waitress looked at him like he was speaking another language. Mm-hmm. She said, what do you want the ketchup for? And he said, well, for my fries. And she looked at him like he was crazy. She said, you don't put ketchup on fries. You put vinegar on fries.
And I was just going to say a gastrique. So like a tomato gastrique would be more, they would commonly have like a sauce with vinegar base, which would be considered ketchup, but that wouldn't.
Spicy ketchup.
Right.
Usually.
If it's a steak fry, I'll tend to do a malt vinegar. But like a shoestring or some other fries, I will. Well, like a McDonald's fry, I don't even use ketchup. I eat them as they are. But sometimes with fries, I will use ketchup. But typically, and I picked this up when I was down south somewhere, I forget where. It may have. Well, it may have been Orlando. It may have been Dallas. Fry sauce.
Yeah, it's a big thing down south.
Fry sauce. It's basically ketchup and mayonnaise.
Steak and Shake has that.
Yeah, ketchup and mayonnaise
and they
mixed
put their
together.
seasoning in it too.
Yeah.
Fry sauce.
Bistro sauce is what it gets. We add the more spice you add into it, then it becomes bistro sauce.
Yeah. and I was over on the central Massachusetts, and my coworker and I. It was about 7:00 at night. We needed to eat before we drove any further, and we went to a Friendly's there, and the Friendly's in Central Mass brought over fry sauce for the French fries. It wasn't even asked for. It was just automatic.
Really?
It blew my mind.
Now, is it equal parts of?
It depends on the recipe at the operation. It's not a standard. It's a
and usually
pinkish color though. So
usually
it's
they throw like whatever they're putting on the burger, the burger's seasoning. They usually throw that in there for a little bit of spice.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But you can do the same thing with straight ketchup if you want to spice up some ketchup.
Oh, I know. I've mixed ketchup and mayonnaise before. I like it on my salad, but I would never think of it for fries.
Yeah, fry sauce. Yeah, make it.
Yeah.
Try it with French fries.
I
get yourself an air fryer and fry up some fries so they're healthier.
There's
You've seen my fridge, Ken.
a fancy French restaurant in Northampton, and they make the most fantastic French fries. But if you call them French fries, they'll throw you out.
Bistro. Are we talking about Bistro?
Yeah.
63?
What are they?
What it is?
The Gras family. They make fantastic food, but the pommes frites are probably some of the best French fries you can get around the area.
I bet you they fry them in duck fat.
And they have a homemade tomato gastrique and a aioli to dip. So no mayonnaise and ketchup, but they have a gastrique and an aioli, and they're absolutely delicious.
Yeah, all an aioli is a fancy name for
the flavored mayonnaise.
Yeah. Usually it's olive oil.
But you can't say French fries, ketchup, or mayonnaise. And
usually it's olive oil based on aiolis, right?
They'll get mad. Maybe take your wine.
Kathy's looking at us like aioli, huh?
It's usually olive oil based, though, right? Most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah. Because that would the Italian name of it. Otherwise, French name is mayonnaise. Blah blah blah.
And of course, the gastrique is a light sauce or liquid that's acid based.
Right. Okay. Usually a reduction of like a vegetable or something, and then some vinegar added in, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's not going to be a test on this, is there?
Haven't you watched Iron Chef Gauntlet?
You don't remember the whole 720p and 1080i thing?
No,
9:56 and a half. Chef John Slattery, I want to thank you for coming into his house today.
Thank you for having me. And if you want to find out what I've been up to, you can always check out my website at chefjohnslattery.com. I'll also be at the Food Fest this weekend with the Rotary. I'll be pouring some beer or selling some beer at the beer tent on Friday night. I look forward to the Food Fest and seeing everybody here in downtown.
And you'll be sporting your new tail.
It's not new. It takes time to get it like this there.
Obviously you've had a little bit of length before, but you're always in here with a full size hat on or something. I think that's what it is.
It's summertime. I decided to not wear a full hat today.
Yeah, you're not going to catch up to me, brah.
God.
Yes, that's right. So the end of the week, the 24th and 25th, Rotary Food Fest. Yep. WSKB will be broadcasting live during the entire friggin' thing like we did the past several years.
By the grace of God and 450 horsepower.
Woo!
Oh, wait a minute, that's modified.
We'll be planted in front of the Renova building. Come on over and say hi to us. I want to thank my listeners for tuning in and giving up 2 hours of your life that you're never, ever, ever going to get back.
Nope, not a chance.
Not a chance. Next week, making the list.
Didn't I win last time?
Peter won the last one.
Did.
So you need to,
Pressure's on.
by midweek, Pete, I need to know what the topic
I'm going to go
will
real
be.
subjective. I'm going to call it right now. Your favorite road trip song.
Road trip song, huh?
Yep.
Road trip song.
That could be anything.
Holy smokes.
We've never done this topic before either.
No. And it could be your favorite road trip song or a road trip song that you might have seen in a movie or something.
Exactly.
Wow. Oh, my God, Pete.
Wide
I just
open.
blew the doors off the place.
You just
John, you want to come back for that one?
I might stop in.
You
my list.
just might as well just say, okay, do a best song category instead of, road trip song.
There are just certain songs. No, there's certain songs that fit drive the road.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there's songs
mindset.
you need on a road trip.
Slow Ride by Foghat.
Yeah, it depends.
See that?
Certain songs where the accelerator goes a little farther down when it comes on the radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm big on the Carole King and the James Taylor when I'm driving. But there's a lot of other music I like.
2 weeks from now, it's Hoot Day. We'll be broadcasting live from downtown. I may or may not be in San Diego. Kathy Palmer may or may not be filling in for me. Bob Plast isn't around. Kathy Palmer may be filling in for Bob Plast during the 6 to 8
God help
hour.
us all.
So Hoot Day, Hoot Day is going to
early.
I'll have to stay up all night.
Hoot Day is going to be a hoot, which is 2 weeks from now. 3 weeks from now, I have Dan Paquette from the library back in his house.
Yes.
That's all the time I have. I want to thank you all for tuning in. See you next week.
Bombadita, 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 until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Bombadita, bombadita, keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and think about sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again.